what you've been told about golf's mental game is incomplete, and it's actually hurting your game. I'm Dr. Rick Sessinghaus. I'm a PGA instructor. I've worked with some of the best players in the world, including Collin Morikawa. And I'm going to help you now understand that those myths, they're hurting you. It's time to now actually learn what's going to help you shoot lower scores and how you're going to use your mental game to reach your goals. One is about the pre-shot routine itself. Hey, do this pre-shot routine. But unfortunately, they're doing it the wrong part of the actual performance. What I mean by that is most people think the pre-shot routine is when the club is pulled from the bag and now you go into the shot. That's a piece of it. But let's think about this. We have to make decisions. We have to focus. We have to know where to aim, all those type of things. That's the start of the pre-shot routine. But most people think it's just back here. You take a breath, you walk in, do it exactly the same over and over again. Yes, it's important to have some consistency, but you're missing a very key step in your pre-shot routine. Think about what you would do on a second shot on a par 4, right? You get to there, you're not just pulling a club. You better be able to pay attention what the current environment is. What is the lie? What is the wind? What's the yardage? What's the elevation? How firm is the green? Then you have to make a decision based on your strengths, your patterns, okay? Not somebody else's. That takes focus. That takes self-awareness. Most people are not training that. They just shoot the number, they take a club, and they call that a pre-shot routine. There's things you're missing in that. This is about being focused on the environment, making a decision, and then executing that decision. So the pre-shot routine is a lot longer than you think, and it encompasses not only thinking, but then how do you let yourself go and be in the optimal state of performance. That is what the pre-shot routine is. Cognitively, emotionally, and physically, are you ready to hit the golf shot? Most people are not because they've been told just shoot the number, pick a club, and walk into the shot. There's a lot of nuance to that. Are you visualizing? Are you using breath work? Are you centering yourself? Are you doing a practice swing? All of these could be used, not saying they should be used, to help you perform at your best. So pre-shot routines, I think you need to start to think about it differently. Start applying the entire pre-shot routine of when that bag hits the ground, it is go time. Next part of this, which has to do with pre-shot routine, a lot of coaches will say the pre-shot routine needs to be the same throughout the entire bag. Absolutely false. Okay? The best players in the world, if you notice what they're doing with the driver in their hand, is far different when they're hitting a flop shot around the green. Each shot has different challenges, and it's for you to use that routine to be at your best. So a driver, you get to tee the ball up. The lie's the same. Most likely you're hitting a stock driver. There's not as much thinking happening. But I put you on a ball above your feet in some light rough, I would think you're going to take some more practice swings. I'm going to think that you're going to actually pay attention more to the lie. And a flop shot, I don't think one practice swing might get the job done. You may have 2, 3, 4 practice swings for you to feel and be committed to the shot. So pre-shot routine will adjust depending on the shot. Now, here's a pet peeve of mine. A lot of coaches are telling you to play golf emotionless. Emotionless. You know what that means? That means you're dead. Okay? You want to play golf dead? No. Golf is to be enjoyed. And yes, there's ups and downs. Okay? But a lot of these coaches just want to have a blanket statement. Don't get mad. Don't get happy. Just be emotionless. Holy smokes. You think Tiger was emotionless when he's fist pumping? When he has that intensity? When he has that focus? No. It's that you're not regulating your emotions throughout a round of golf. That's it. But most coaches just want to say, don't have any emotions. I don't know about you. I want to enjoy the game. I actually enjoy a little bit of the ups and downs. But what emotion do you play your best golf in? That's actually a better question. And there's thousands of emotions, everybody. What emotion resonates with you when you're at your best? Because I talk about being in a flow state, optimal state. You perform your best, you feel your best. Feel. Emotions. When I'm at my best, I'm engaged. Engaged is an emotion. Some people it's determined. Some people it's creative. Some people it's calm. Some people it's confident. Some people it's peaceful. What is your optimal state? And do you have tools to get into that state? That's a much better question than Let's just be emotionless. Now, I know why those coaches say that. It's because we look at the disempowering emotions: frustration, anger, annoyance, right? Helplessness. I get that. We don't want to feel that on the golf course, but it is part of the game. How do you react to poor shots and bad bounces and playing partners and pace of play? That is an emotional regulation issue, okay? You are going to have different emotions. How long do those emotions stay with you, we call the duration, is actually a more important question to ask. Instead of, I don't want to have any negative emotions. Oh my gosh. You're going to have disempowering emotions. But maybe they only last 10 seconds instead of 3 holes. Do you have a proper post-shot routine to be able to react to those shots? Most people don't. They've never heard post-shot routine, Rick. What are you talking about? Well, your ability to respond to a golf shot is a skill. But remember, a lot of these people, emotionless, okay? Or they say, another myth here, just forget about it. Just forget that you just 3-putted from 8 feet. Just forget that you just hit it in the water. Just forget about it. Well, that's very convenient. One, it's impossible. So stop listening to these type of myths. So what we want to do is learn from the shot. Yeah, I'm not happy the ball went in the water, but I wonder why it went there. Was it a club choice issue? Was it a mental issue? Was it a mechanical issue? It could be. Don't we want to minimize that from happening again? But no, we're supposed to forget about it, okay? The best in the world are constantly creating a feedback loop. Learn, adjust, learn, adjust. And yes, they may be frustrated for 10 seconds. They may be disappointed. Okay, that's life. But your ability to learn, respond how you want, get into more what we call a growth mindset is like, I can learn from that. I can adjust, learn, and adjust, okay? The other part of that emotion is how intense is the emotion, and then how long does it stay with us? So I used to be a hothead, I admit, okay? Anger, frustration. Now, frustration in and of itself is really our reaction to our expectations not being met, okay? So think about that. Now, if I'm frustrated, but I allow that to stay with me for 2, 3, 4 holes, that emotional state will affect future shots, 100%. Now, I could be frustrated and then learn and then get back to neutral within 10 seconds. Or I could also minimize the intensity. So instead of being frustrated, I'm disappointed. That's a smaller intensity, lower intensity, which is actually easier to get back to neutral. Notice I didn't say get positive, okay? Can you dial down that intensity for what you need next? That in and of itself is a skill. So when we have people say be emotionless or forget about it, or the other one that you hear all the time, just don't care. Don't care. And then you'll play your best golf. But I do care. I want to play well. Don't you want to play well? I understand caring too much is about attachment to outcome. But the best players in the world care. And they do all the due diligence of their routines and their preparation to be the best that they can at that moment. So please stop listening to just these throwaway comments that that's the mental game. It's not. The mental game is about optimizing your state, mentally, emotionally, and physically, to be at your best. It does require good pre-shot routines. Pre-shot routines that actually takes in information. You make a decision based on your strengths, your dispersion levels, how you're feeling in that moment. And then you can get up there and make a committed swing. The mental game is also about optimizing your state after shots. Having that post-shot routine to learn. Was that mental? Was that physical? Gosh, if I had another shot, would I do it differently? Right? That is about how you're going to get great at this game. I see the best players in the world. Yes, they get frustrated, but that's a learning moment now. What can I learn from that? Yes, we want to shoot lower scores. We want to enjoy this game more. So it's important now that you put away those myths and you start training the mental game to be at your best mentally, emotionally, and physically.